Welcome everybody back here at Veil of Sound for our regular Sunday interview. And I'm very, very happy to have one of those people on the show who, with his band and with his solo project or projects that he's been involved with, has shaped, I would say, a few scenes in the last 20 years. I'm very happy to have Massimo Pupillo or Pupillo from Zoo here on the show. So Massimo, thanks for joining.
Thank you. And here's Luca.
Maya is also joining. Cool. So I'm very happy to have both of you here. We want to talk about one of the records that you have been working on last year, a live record together with the drummer behind Ruins. So the record is called Ruins Zoo, and the title is simply Jazzisdead. Because it was recorded at the festival, right?
Al festival Jazzisdead in Italy.
Yeah. The first question that I always ask here on the Veil of Sound is, do you have any kind of band merch or shirt or from your band or another band that you would like to mention here? I'll give you a moment to think while I mention something. One of my good friends, black metal, doom, whatever, Massimo from the Pacific Northwest. Massimo, any record by yourself or a friend or a shirt or something that you would like to mention here?
Un disco che vogliamo menzionare?
Sì.
Ma di che? In generale?
This is going to be very different for the two of us.
Yes.
But so, new or old record?
Whatever. Maybe the last thing that you bought.
Nostro?
No.
Vario.
What was the last record that the two of you bought?
Don't remember. I don't remember because I'm always listening to lots and lots of stuff, and it's so different, so various, and in so many different directions. So it can be from contemporary music to old prog stuff to I don't know, electronic music. It's quite broad.
Is that also one? I mean, like it's you say like very broad. Is that also one of the roots for the Zoo sound?
Definitely. I mean, each one of us has already quite a broad palette of influences.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you put the three people together, that have all these different and sometimes converging and sometimes not influences, you have a lot of territory all of a sudden where you can explore, and actually we're still exploring it, But it's not something that you choose out of a rational mind, It's more like something needs to be expressed, but then you have all these different colors that you love to use. And so in one way, as a band, we always have worked a lot on limitation because it's only a trio. It's already only a trio, and there's no guitar and no vocals. So it's very, 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 very narrow and very limited. And I cherish limits because I think when you have very clear limits, you can explore a lot inside those limits. In fact, in the beginning, I chose for many years to not use any pedal on the bass because I really wanted to extract the most possible that was possible in from the instrument itself.
So maybe for everybody, Massimo is playing the bass in Zoo and Luca is playing the saxophone. So I'm like a collaboration. You have done loads of collaborations throughout your career. You have collaborated with some of the most interesting people. But I've seen that there is also there are differences. There are people that you collaborate with frequently, like Xavier Iriondo. And then there are people with whom you might only do one record. Is there a difference for you if you work, for example, with Xavier, or if you work, for example, with Spaceways Inc.?
Mm-hmm. Well, not really, because again, it's not something that you really choose. Is more like the life offers itself in a certain way, so that you all of a sudden you are, I don't know, like Spaceways, you're going to be in the same city, in Chicago in that case, for the same days. And we were also going to be guests at Ken Vandemark's house. Mm-hmm. So it was this idea, like, you're coming to make a record, let's do something together. Mm-hmm. We're there with a trio, no? And these things just tend to happen when you don't have, in our case, a manager, that no one ever wanted to lose their time and the resources with us, and we were very lucky, because no one ever told us don't do this, this is the tour, or this is a loss of time, or no one is interested. No, it was our trajectory, and you pick up momentum in this trajectory, and then other forces combine, and it's really, of every collaboration we can tell you stories, because everything has been so natural. It's like, okay, this is the right time to do this. And the fact that you change, we have changed a lot, so also people that we were interested in and people that were interested in us were changing. We had a period in, I don't know, mid 2000 where we were very interested in the new in the jazz scene from Chicago, and in Peter Brotzmann, in that scene, but we have never been able to really fix ourselves in one spot. We always had this energy that wanted to move forward, and so we find ourselves in different environments. And this is from an outside point of view can seem strange that we are in the Chicago scene, and then 1 year later we are touring with Melvins and Fantomas, or even in the same year. But for us was because we don't consider separate things. We have taste, and what if we like something, maybe the funny thing is that wherever we went, we were always the strange outcast thing. Like we play in a jazz festival and we're considered the metal band.
Yeah, and you play at a metal festival and you're a jazz band.
Yeah. And everywhere, it's like this. We're always the strange thing that is not really possible to put your finger on. And, but I think this can be a weakness or can be a force.
I was just saying it can be a weakness or a positive thing. It can be a strength. But again, you've been talking about collaborations, as something that just happens. But is it also maybe one of the things that keeps Zoo interesting for you guys?
No. So. Rispondi sempre io. No, rispondi pure. No, I think what makes Zoo interesting for us is that it's friendship, first of all. It's not. It's also work, but it's based on friendship, and this is the energy. It's the energy of friendship that feeds it, and then we have always somehow new things to explore. It's like you keep doing this, and new sounds come up, and new stories and new visions, and eventually you want to put this on tape and say this to people, and participate in this vision and play it live, and it keeps being exciting for us. So we wouldn't do it if it was not the most exciting thing to do.
Is one part then also maybe exploring the world with your friends, going places, seeing things?
Sure. Going places, seeing things, as I told you, not having managers or no one, so that we can sometimes, if we have I don't know, if we have a day off in London, for sure we go to Stonehenge, or Avebury, or so being able to do these things that if you are in a strict band tour life, you cannot do this.
Yeah.
But we always had this cultivated this freedom part. It's you pay for it, of course. It has a price tag,
of course.
But on the other side,
it's part of music.
Yes, it's part of music. Yeah, fits the music. You're not the same if if on your day off you just went to a bar, or if you went to Stonehenge or one of those places.
Yeah,
the show is different.
Yeah, and both will cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
Would you then say that in a way that also flows back into the process of writing, into making new music?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I told you before, we have a broad palette of influence, but we are not directly influenced by other people's music. We're influenced by a lot of stuff that we read, and that we share our books or places that we see, and common interest. Common interest also in things that don't immediately have connection with music, like I don't know, ancient archaeology, or lots of different stuff, but it all feeds in the music.
Then what was the last place that really struck you, where you were really like, wow, I would not have thought? Maybe a place that you hadn't been before?
We live in Rome, and Rome is full. When you work in presence, you have a lot of things that appear, and to have to connect. You have the Roman Emperor, or Baroque, or everything. You have everything under your eyes. And, this is the last thing that we.
So let's talk a little bit about let's talk about the collaboration with Ruins Zoo. I've heard that the whole thing basically has a long history. So if it has a long history, how did it happen that this is the first record you've been doing together?
We don't know, really. It has a long history because when we started Zoo, Ruins were really important for us, because they managed to put together everything that we loved in that moment, like noise, hardcore, metal, prog, improv, in two people. And Ruins were one. We used to also organize shows in Rome, because at the time there were not so many things happening. So sometimes if there was something like Ruins that we really wanted to see, but they were not coming, we would invite them and organize a show for them. So we started, like, first time we just organized, second time we were already playing and we opened for them. And then they gave us the very first contacts out of nowhere. They were like, oh, there's these people in Slovenia and Croatia that would really like your band. This is their contacts. And we started going abroad thanks to them. So, and then we played a few times in Japan, and we met or played the same show, but we didn't think a lot about it for years. And then a couple of years ago, Yoshida wrote me really out of the blue after many years and asked me if I wanted to join him in his tour to play like 3 shows together, improv shows. And then we played those, and they went very well, and they were really fun to play and exciting, and everyone really liked it. And so we thought maybe we can do this, but structure it and with Luca, and do the something that we knew that also he likes to do these crazy things. Like he would choose his favorite Zoo songs, and we would choose our favorite Ruin songs, and we would put it together, rehearse it, and play it. And so we did that, and we played these 23 shows in a row. And really by chance, the last one was in Torino, and it was recorded from the desk. So we had this multi-track, and it sounded good, and we thought, well, we can release this. So yeah, that's the long story short.
That's very fine. It's just like, how do I imagine that? You choose Ruin songs, he chooses some Zoo songs. How much reworking was done before you went on tour?
We had 3 days.
Okay.
3 days rehearsal. But yeah, there's not so much reworking possible on Ruins, because everything is like so written, so well and so strict, and it's just a matter of being able to play it, because it's really difficult material, at least for me.
Yeah, he studied for 3 months.
Yeah, every day.
And you've mentioned it. That was live recording happened on the last and 23rd show. I mean, like, you had 22 before. I'm not gonna ask if one was better than the recorded one, but did you notice? How should I say? Did you notice any change in the performances? Were they easier for you, or were they still like incredibly hard? Because like the 23rd show, should have changed a little bit in 3 weeks.
Yeah. It got easier. So getting easier was also more exciting, because there were some Ruins tracks that during the show I was like, oh my god, the next one is that one. And that wasn't this so difficult, and I have this passage that I'm still learning months, and playing Night by Night, it became easier, so it was exciting, like, oh yes, next one, yeah, wow. And then I think we just got better and more together. In fact, there was some people that saw us 2 times, because we played 2 times in Bologna in that tour, and also we did another short tour later in the summer, and everyone thought that we were a lot better the second time. So it grew a lot.
But would you say it never came to a point where it became routine, right?
No, that's never the case.
Yeah, but that's a cool thing. It keeps it. It was still, after 3 weeks, still exciting, right, for you?
Yeah, absolutely. This is, I think, even you have difficult days, good days, difficult on tour, but the performing, playing music, it's never less than totally exciting. Always. We're still like kids when we play.
That is also something that is very interesting. I mean, like, you as a band have been touring your asses off. Is it true that you played more than 1,000 shows by now?
No, more than 2,000 shows.
Whoa! Then that information must be reworked on, I think it was Wikipedia. So 2,000 shows, 20 years, which basically is like 100 shows every year, more or less. would you ever have imagined that? Like, okay, we're gonna be touring all over the world, play 100 concerts a year?
Absolutely not. When we started, we really our goal, like there was our definite goal, was releasing one album and do tour Europe once. That was all we wanted, and we really wanted to try this as an experience, because we were seeing bands that we liked coming to play, and we were like, oh, that would be so great to do something like this once. And yeah, we never thought that. In fact, we are still surprised. Many times we're still surprised.
By people liking your music, or where you're going to play?
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
Everything. Yeah, I mean, even people liking our music, because we know that it's not the easiest how would you say, food on the menu, you know? is not by itself, but because it's out of categories, and people tend to like categories for some reason, and you know. And yeah, so it's always, I mean, really, this I think I can speak also for Luca. Every time someone comes after the show, audience member, and express enthusiasm, you know, and joy for, we are always appreciating a lot, you know. It's like, thank you, really, because it's never granted. It's never granted. It's always for us, it's always important that our music means something for the audience.
For other people. I can also confirm that. I mean, like, having seen you once, only once, unfortunately, but it's a very exhilarating thing. It is very, as though, even though the music is complicated sometimes, and yes, it's not very often easy to digest and to understand it, but there is one thing that I find that I really like about Zoo and about also the other side projects. It's always, in a way, as strange as it sounds, but I left with a very positive feeling. Is that something that you want to give for people, like not only entertainment, but like a good feeling going away home?
Yes, because for us is for us it started as a sort of therapy. You know, we just did what we did, and we were feeling better after the rehearsal. We were feeling better than before. And so when other people started to tell us, you know, it's always, I mean, last time we played in Milano, and after the show we went just outside where all the people was, and a lot of people were smiling, and it was great, because we think this music, you know, that create these effects, for some reason it's great. It's really the best.
I would like to talk about the record title and the title of the festival, Jazzisdead. Would you agree with that? Is jazz dead?
Yes, well.
But you know what I mean, right? And we're like, is I think we all agree on the fact that classic jazz, 40s, 50s, 60s, that is dead right now, isn't it? Or have you come across a good new artist who plays stuff like Thelonious Monk?
No.
So what is jazz then nowadays?
I think it is the new thing is to mix some music, some jazz with the new music, or other classic genre. And now I think to Sons of Kemet, they don't play really jazz, but easy to the jazz, you know. Too many other inspiration that they have. I think this is the new wave to mix. Many people mix like death metal with jazz.
Yeah,
I think that is interesting. But the old form of jazz is completely is a book of history.
Mm-hmm.
I try to listen that the whole things for me is come si dice? Insegnamento?
Teaching.
Is a teaching
Mm-hmm.
ever. When you heard like Eric Dolphy or Coltrane or something like that, Monk, Thelonious Monk.
Mm-hmm. Is then jazz nowadays more of a mental attitude than a genre?
I can't to talk about jazz because I don't follow the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I to heard like Steve Coleman or something like that because I think it's the new things, but I think I lost the here that I have 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
20 years ago, 30 years ago, I heard a lot of jazz, a lot of free jazz. I was completely into that.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, it's impossible for me to hear this music. I prefer to follow other things like oddio, non mi viene la parola. Ethnic music.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Well, yeah.
I prefer to go to the roots of music, ancient music, or the sound, no, the sonic sound.
So, Massimo, would you agree with that? Jazz nowadays is more like a concept and not the genre?
For me, the only real thing that we took from jazz is the openness,
yeah,
this collaboration thing. No, because rock music is very based on identity. No, you see now one guitar player leaves the band and all news because the band is that identity. No, and it's very limited for me, this thing to base yourself on some identity.
It's also limited. Interesting that you say like identity because you two are basically the core of Zoo, right? More or less.
Yeah.
And you had,
we have had very, very long time members, but we always stayed. Me and Luca always stayed.
Yeah. If one of the two of you left, would the other one continue Zoo?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so because it's really this friendship thing that it's and this is not only we are friends, we do this, but it's a sort of constant sharing of other things, which have to do also with daily life, but have to do also with personal research and personal I don't know, spiritual life. And this is very important for us, and I can't think of any. It wouldn't be possible to create something that comes from that place where something is zoo comes from a very special place, and it wouldn't be the same.
So yeah, first. Yeah, you go ahead, Massimo.
No. Just where I was closing this jazz, that I think the only thing that we really took from that scene is this openness to collaboration. That I think it's not that we pretend to know what is the main point of one thing, but it's just what we took from jazz is that, and at the same time we took something from punk rock,
hardcore, yeah. Of course.
For us, is the thing from punk rock is if you really have something to say, you can say it with the €100 instrument.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't, because now everything is so hyper technical, technological, and you know, I also like to watch, you know, all these pedals, all this stuff, but I think our main point is like we take one thing from a scene or a world, and this is what we the way we are influenced by everything else. You know, is probably just one narrow point, but it becomes important for us.
So first of all, thanks for the insight into the record. But at the end of every interview, we like to give you quick questions, and you have to decide. It will be something like, what do you like more, vino rosso versus vino bianco, pizza versus pasta, or AC/DC with Bon Scott versus AC/DC with Brian Johnson?
Okay.
And as I knew that the two of you are collaborating with Ruins on this one, I would like to start with two saxophone couples. So you have to choose who you like more, John Coltrane or Ornette Coleman.
Coltrane.
Can you say why?
Because his way is a strongly spiritual way, and these things is clear on his sound. His sound was really spiritual.
The next couple is Pharaoh Sanders versus Sonny Rollins.
Sonny Rollins.
Again, any idea why? Why would you choose?
For his way of melody.
Okay. So, two bass couples for Massimo.
Oh.
Jaco Pastorius versus Geddy Lee.
I'm not Jaco Pastorius guy at all.
Yeah,
so
but
that's then Geddy Lee. That's an easy one.
Les Claypool versus Bootsy Collins.
Ooh. Okay. Probably Les Claypool.
Can you say why? Why?
But yeah, it's just he's more in my world, you know. Like Bootsy Collins, I can admire, but it's nothing to do. It's like completely two different sports.
Of course.
You know, and as much as I like bass players who are completely in a different sport of what I play, Les Claypool has more like something that I can relate to.
As you were so quick with the first one, I give you another one. You know, I want to make it a little complicated. And I know that everybody will hate me for the choice, but I like to give very different ones. Clea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers versus Cliff Burton from Metallica.
No, that's easy. Too easy. Easy. Cliff Burton.
Okay. Okay.
No, that was too easy.
That was very fast. So, Massimo, I would like to ask you something about the saxophone. For you, is the saxophone more an instrument at the center stage or a little bit more backstage? Where should it be?
Saxophone should be exactly where it is. Is on my right.
Okay, but it's for you. It's not something decorative, right? It's something which is one of the essential sounds.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what makes it even more, because Luca uses a baritone saxophone with distortion and pitch shifter. So the space where the sound sits is very, very similar to where the bass sits.
Yeah, it's very, very well connected. True.
Yeah, yeah.
And now a similar question for Mr. Mai about the bass. Is the bass for you a rhythm instrument or a melodic instrument?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, depends because
yeah, what should you say, right?
Using in two different waves,
Mm-hmm.
rhythm and melodic.
Mm-hmm. And now one couple for both of you. You have released records on Ipecac Records, Patton's label. So I'll give you two projects by Mr. Patton, and both of you please decide. Tomahawk or Mr. Bungle?
Mr. Bungle.
Mr. Bungle.
Oh, why?
Easy.
Why?
It's more creative.
Okay.
It's more creative. It's more just musically interesting and convoluted and prog.
Luca, would you say the same?
Yes, it's the same. For me, Tomahawk, I don't want to be a bad guy, but it's Tomahawk was, come si dice riempitivo? I'm sorry for filler.
Mm-hmm. I already guessed that you would have said Bungle. It's interesting the way you explain it. I thought you would have chosen Bungle because it's the one of the two which has a saxophone in it. Or a horn section in it. You know? On Tomahawk, there is no horns.
Yeah. Yeah, but
it's I think it's not a saxophone. I think it's a trombone in Bungle.
Also, Bungle has Trevor Dunn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Trevor Dunn is makes a difference.
Yeah, a little bit. So guys, thanks for all the details. I know you are getting ready for tour, so I don't want to keep you too long. Thanks for your time. And everybody, April 18th, listen to Jazzisdead by Ruined Zoo. So thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Enjoy the rest of your day, my friends. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.